giving you the real from A to Z surrounding the Dallas Cowboys. News, updates, rumors, transactions, takes, and more. So strap up, Cowboys Nation, and start your day off with A to Z Sports. Live with Will Steele.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go. Y'all funny, per usual. It's Friday. Good morning, good people. Welcome to A to Z Sports Live, presented by Texas Family Fitness. I am your host today and every day, Will Skywalker Steele. On this Feel Good Friday. How y'all doing, huh? How y'all doing? That was a good game yesterday, right? We're going to talk a little bit about that. I thought that was interesting. But we'll also get into this line change.
3, 2, 1.
I'm going to detail this line change coming up today, or coming up this weekend with the left guard situation. Dak Prescott talks. He speaks up about the sporadic Cowboys offensive issues in his play. So we'll listen to him in the first word. And then later we'll have some fun. I want to hear some bold predictions from you guys on the Pulse of the Nation hotline. So make sure y'all call in 351-999-3787, 351-999-3787 for some bold predictions. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. How y'all doing today? Huh? How are we doing? How goes it, as my guy KG likes to say? How goes it? Let me get that centered up in here. All right, here we go. Here we go. Yeah, we're going to talk about that line situation that just keeps on popping up. I feel like we need to have that conversation once again. Maybe it'll be closed. Maybe this will be the last part of it, but I don't know. We'll see. How you doing, Miss Jackie? I'm not sure if you caught it yesterday at the end of the show. We gave you a birthday shout out, Miss Jackie. So once again, happy birthday to you. Appreciate you being day one here and a fantastic fan of Skywalker Steele and now A to Z Sports Dallas. And if you missed the show yesterday, run that thing back or go check out the audio on all the podcasting platforms. We're up on Spotify. We're up on Apple, Google Cast, or whatever it's called, and all these other cool podcast platforms. So check that out if you will. Already I see someone said Tank on the injury report, Sky. Yep. Stick around for the roundup. We'll talk about Tank. Good news. He's good to go. But we'll talk about that for a quick second in the roundup. So make sure y'all stick around for that. Somebody said, am I late or am I early? You're early. I'm late. Yeah. You know how it goes. Shout out to Notre, man. Miss Jackie, how you doing? James Simmons, Stevie Mack, the my guy. Oh, it was Trucker's birthday yesterday as well. Trucker's Life. Happy birthday to Trucker's Life, man. Haven't seen him in here in a couple days, so I probably working on the road. So happy birthday to you too, sir. Steve Lupton, Lissay, Will Anthony, James Simmons, TC915, Chuck on Facebook, Jacob on YouTube. Who else we got in here? Paris, Carlock, what's up? Della on Facebook, Tim Garcia on Facebook as well. Keith Shep, Iceberg Q, Mike Harris, Mom Dukes in the building. Amanda Brown, Kevin Thomas, Twan, B. Bird, the OG, James Willis, Charlene. Who else we got in here? Derek Small, Sully, Brandon C., Dave Walker, Vaughn. What's up, Vaughn? Mackenzie, two times. Steve Lupton, Adam Mack, and I believe that's what I got here. Kevin Z. What's up, Kevin? And the many more that will be coming through. I appreciate you guys. I don't know if you got the notification or not. I see some people are struggling with that. I don't know, man. I can't quite explain. I mean, I can explain it, but I can't really explain it on air. There's some things going on behind the scenes with this YouTube situation, but we'll get it cleared up, and hopefully in due time, we'll get this thing back rolling the way it needs to be. But, hey, man, you're at the mercy of the red sign with the white arrow, a.k.a. YouTube. So you're at the mercy, or the white play button. You're at the mercy of those guys, man. What's up, Lance? How you doing, man? How you doing? Hey, before we get into the roundup, did y'all watch that Chargers-Chiefs game yesterday? Very entertaining game. A lot of people were joking on Twitter about it being drunk. That's the thing now. This game is drunk. But it was crazy. A lot of fourth down calls, a lot of fourth down failed attempts didn't work out. So that's a big talk today. Analytics. Should you go for it on fourth down? Should you not? But nonetheless, the Chargers did come away with that victory, 34-28 in overtime. Mahomes to Kelsey, and Kelsey did the work after the catch. I mean, Kelsey showed you why he's still that dude. Yeah. He showed you why he's still a top 2 or 3 tight end in this NFL at the age of 32 with that yak and his just high football IQ. And he catches it, runs for about, 20-something, 30-something yards for the game-winning touchdown. Had a couple huge plays in that game. Tyreek Hill is also another dude who's just, dude makes no sense. Between the two, if I'm not mistaken, they had over 300 yards receiving, roughly 30 or 20-something receptions, not 30, but 20-something receptions and over 300 yards receiving. 3 touchdowns. These dudes are cheat codes. And the reason why I bring that up is because what the Cowboys did to that team, that offense, those players on the road against Pat Mahomes. Thought it was impressive. Yeah, when you see Pat do this, well, Pat wasn't that great in that game. He made some amazing throws, got out of some trouble, great runs, but he made a lot of terrible throws in that game. But nonetheless, Pat put it together, and he put a couple drives together that mattered at the end of the game, and they won. So when you see a team like that do that to a Chargers team who's not a bad team, and the Cowboys were able to hold them to 19 points, you feel good. Hold them to 19 points without Randy Gregory, without Neville Gallimore, without D. Law, right? Makes you feel a little bit better. Sin City, appreciate you for the donation.
Super chat.
He says, top of the morning, Cowboys Nation. Ironically, last year around this time, the boys were 4-9. We're a better team, Cowboys Nation. Embrace it. I love that. I love that positive mentality that we got going on here on this on this Feel Good Friday. I like that. Yeah. Last year we were talking about the draft. Most of us were looking towards the draft and tankathon and things like that. Now we're trying to see if we can creep up into the number 1 seed. 1 game out. We're trying to clinch the division this week. A lot has to happen. And I misspoke, by the way. The Cowboys cannot clinch the division with a win and a Washington loss. They can't. They would have to clinch the division with a win plus a Washington loss, plus 5 other things have to happen for tiebreaker purposes. But if I'm not mistaken, I believe they can clinch a playoff spot with a win and a Buccaneer win, from what I read. So still a lot of playoff scenarios have to play out for the Cowboys to clinch this division. Marcelo said both QBs were lousy. You really think so? Yeah, I think Justin Herbert played pretty decent. And I don't want to say that Pat played bad in that game. He just made a handful of bad throws. Jackie said, Miss Fresh Fade, please say it again. Funny, Dak is the only QB that misses throws. Yeah, that was a lot of conversation on Twitter yesterday, and it happens a lot with Cowboys Nation because we know how it is, right? Like a lot of those throws, if number 4 did that, yeah, the Twitter would burn. It would burn. You'd have all these people who don't like Dak, don't believe in him. They would have been coming on here going crazy. And then if he would have pulled it out like he did at the end, they wouldn't say nothing. That's just how it rolls. The loyalty to a winning team to some of these people teeter on the person throwing the ball, whether they like them or not. They're going to be miserable if they don't like them, whether the Cowboys win or not. That's just, for whatever reason, that's how that sector of fan base works. I don't know why. Appreciate you, Cedric Batts, for sharing the content. Appreciate that a lot. Shout out to, who was that? Shout out to Kelsey for balling out while I'm in my fantasy football playoffs. Hey, brother, I got a bye week, so I ain't got to worry about it this week. Stevie Mac, my guy, ain't got to worry about it. TC95 said, I read we can clinch with a win and a Washington loss, something to do with tiebreakers with Philly. No, we can't clinch with a win or Washington loss. We can clinch with a win, a Washington loss, and then 5 other things have to happen that involves the tiebreaker. So I'm not going to read through them all. I have to pull it up and find it. But there are a lot of things that have to happen for tiebreaker purposes. And right now, actually Saturday, there's a game on Saturday that, again, I can't remember who it is, but if something happens on Saturday, then Sunday doesn't matter. One of those teams win or lose on Saturday, then Sunday doesn't matter. So Saturday actually is a big day for Dallas Cowboys. I'll get that information for y'all as we go through this show. But all right, man, with that said, let's get into the roundup, get to some news, some scary news at first, and then we found out really wasn't much to it. But we'll get you some injury reports with that.
Looking at my Gucci, it's about that time.
It's time! It's time! It's time!
It's time. It's time. It is time for.
It's time for the morning roundup. Round 'em up, boys.
This is the morning roundup presented by Texas Family Fitness, a solution for your fitness goals. Hey guys, do me a favor. If you are in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, have a chance to win a Dallas Cowboys jersey, free jersey giveaway, and a 3-month free membership to Texas Family Fitness by following them on social media and tagging 2 of your friends. We at A to Z Sports will see that and put you in a drawing for a jersey giveaway. But this is a Texas Family Fitness morning roundup. And hey, this is your solution for a fitness goal, whether it be for weight loss, strengthening up, toning up, sports, or stress relief. Our friends over at TFF have everything you need, from state-of-the-art equipment to group classes and experienced professional certified trainers. So if you're looking to get into your fitness journey, head on over to any of the 9 locations or visit TexasFamilyFitness.com and let them know that we sent you. First up on the practice report, one DeMarcus Lawrence popped up on the injury report as limited. He was downgraded to limited yesterday on Thursday, and with a foot situation. But comes to find out, they asked a source, and the source was given the question, hey, any concerns on DeMarcus Lawrence's foot injury? None. That's what the source said, none. So Cowboys escaped something there. You don't like to see him pop up after 2 games, so that's discouraging, but it's football. You're going to get banged up, need some rest, things like that. So DeMarcus Lawrence should be fine. No concerns per a source, according to Michael Gelkin. So we like to hear that. Tony Pollard was upgraded to limited. So he's trending towards playing. He was out there for the media portion, and then he practiced afterwards. That's good news. Going to need Tony Pollard back. I think with the way Zeke is hobbled, you can't rely on Ezekiel Elliott to get your run game going. He has to be a part of it, but he can't do it solely. I don't think, unless he's fully healthy, which obviously he's not. So getting Tony Pollard back is going to be great. And then finally, tight end Sean McKeon. I'm going to keep bringing him up, y'all. He's back-to-back full practices, which is a great sign for McKeon to play this week. Without a doubt, I think the Cowboys have missed a productive 12 personnel tight end set. I don't think this is a predominantly 12 personnel team anymore with your full complement of wide receivers. But when you get into that package, you still need to be productive out of it. And I don't know if the Cowboys really have been. And I don't know if the Cowboys can open up their playbook in the 12 personnel with a Jeremy Sprinkle. So last week you saw a lot of Jeremy Sprinkle in mostly to block. So now you can legitimately send out 2 tight ends into a route if need be. So getting him back is big. Hand of Fate asks, where is Jarwin? He's still on injured reserve. I will say this, Cowboys Nation. I wouldn't expect to see Blake Jarwin back in the regular season. I don't know that I want to. He has a hip injury. That's nothing to play with. Let him rest the rest of the season. You should have the division locked up, if not this week, the following week. And you get into the playoffs, and maybe you get him back for that home game. But I'm telling y'all, man, I think Sean McKeon, man, just something about him. I just like the way he moves. I think he can be that guy for you, that tight end too for you. I always press this wrong button. The big news, though, to come out of yesterday, and we're going to talk about this extensively, is Connor Williams is expected to start at left guard now. Well, we've been kind of talking about that for the last couple of weeks, huh? I mean, right on Monday, right after it happened, the game on Sunday, we here on this channel were saying, hey, man, it might be that time. And Stephen Jones came out Tuesday and said those guys are going to look into it, which means they already looked into it. And he just didn't want to, he didn't want to spill all the beans. And then Wednesday, I think it came out that, hey, there may be something here. Then yesterday, Broadus and a lot of the reporters and Mike McCarthy hinted at a left guard change back to Connor Williams. So we'll talk about that extensively. Like I said, we touched on it all week, but we'll get into some more numbers and things, and we'll pull out the Panthers game because that was the best rushing performance. And it's not really about just looking at Connor. Just look how the offensive line played in general, how the run game played, how Zeke looked, et cetera, et cetera. We'll look at some of that, and hopefully we can get back to that kind of performance. And then finally, say Dak. Say Dak. Hey, Dak, man, he came out and talked yesterday about his sporadic performances from himself and the offense. And he gave some insight to, I wouldn't say insight, because the thing about being the quarterback and being the coach, well, at least the offense coordinator, you can't call out people. I mean, you just can't do that. So you take your responsibility while also understanding that, hey, we all got to play better. I thought he did a good job toting that line, and we'll listen to him in the morning roundup talk about that. One part of his quote, though, he said, "I'm definitely not playing up to my standard and expectations. When you play at a high level, that is what you create. So I'm glad people have the same expectations for my game as I do for myself." And you'll hear him say that in the first word, but it's always big when you can acknowledge, you're not playing your best ball. But I think they can get out of it. And we'll talk a little bit about that before we move on to the Connors, right? So take a listen to Dak Prescott in the first word.
Obviously, we haven't been playing well. I haven't been playing my best ball. So more importantly, it's just about me getting back to that. And as I've told you millions of times, the type of player I am, it's about practice, it's about the repetition and preparing. So that's what I'm sticking to. I'm definitely not up to my standard and expectations. And when you play at a high level, that's what you create. So I'm glad people have the same expectations for my game as I do for myself. So that's fine.
How are you feeling physically?
I'm fully healthy, 100% healthy. Thank you, though. Thank you. Yeah, I think it's hard to evaluate the quarterback position. I mean, you look around the league, look at the draft process, look at everything that goes into this position. Yeah, it's tough, but as you said, this is a team game, and obviously, as I've pointed out and have been very honest, I need to be better. So that's simply put that way. But in the same sense, it's a team game, and it's hard to evaluate it all unless you know everything that's going on.
What's going to create that improvement in your mind? From what have you emphasized this week?
Yeah, as I said, I'm such a practice player, repetition guy, and so I've just stuck to the basics, whether it's the footwork or whether it's the preparation, watching the film, and just communication with my teammates, just making sure that I'm doing everything necessary to control it. Yeah, as I said, you've got to know what's important, and you've got to see the all 22 view. Obviously, know what I'm thinking, but also see the other guys, see maybe why I made a decision or this happened or that happened, and then quickly fix it, communicate about it, adjust, and move on.
You heard him bring up the word communicate a few times, and I only showed a minute and 50 seconds, I think, of his 13-minute interview, which some of it has some fluff to it, but communication seemed to come up a few times. And again, we showed it, right? We talked about it earlier this week in regards to the offense. And I personally think that the communication is the main factor in this offensive passing game not working the way it's been working. But question to you guys to let me know in the chat. How confident are you in this offense pulling it together as we move forward here? Very confident, not so confident, you have no belief at all. Let me know in the chat there. Very confident, not so confident, no belief at all. I'm very confident in it. We've seen it. We've seen it happen this year, and we've seen it happen when there was continuity. I talked about this on Twitter. I believe this team, specifically the skill players, he talked about in his interview, not that what I showed you, but the full interview, how, getting back to with the skill players and getting in some practice reps and things like that. These guys are staying after practice. They weren't able to do that over the last month and a half of this season. Well, I say month, due to the COVID situations, the injury situations, the outbreak the Cowboys had, which, by the way, the NFL is, I don't know what's going on, man. 130 plus players have tested positive since Monday. So please bubble these boys up. But I'm confident. I feel like you get these guys back into some continuity, you'll be fine. Look at a lot of the issues, not just on Sunday, but last week against the Saints as well. You saw some of those same issues. Then obviously against the Raiders, you're playing with your third and fourth wide receivers. There's going to be communication problems there. But I thought he made the best of it in that situation. So I think they'll get it back on track. So let me hear what y'all got to say. Very confident. I'm confident enough. Marcelo, confident. Stevie Mack says, Schmeedy, I'm confident. James, I'm very confident. Brandon C, very confident. Limited reps with the big three. James, they talked about that. Or Brandon, they talked about that a lot. He said it in his interview. We really didn't get a chance to have too many repetitions due to the situation. But he said, I'm a practice player. I'm a rep player. And you could tell, this isn't a fly-by-night offense. This isn't a backyard offense. It's a timing rhythm offense, which a lot of offenses are, but definitely this one. So if that's not on pat, it can get rough, and you got to make off-script plays. And we haven't really seen that from Dak in this stretch. We haven't seen him be that off-script, I won't say genius, but magician like we saw in the past. Chuck says confident stage, very confident, very. So a lot of you guys are very confident. I'm with you, I'm with you. It'd be one thing if we've never seen this offense do what we know it can do, right? I think they'll get back on track, and this is this week, big opportunity to get back on track. This Giants team, this Giants defense is already ailing. I don't know how many players are going to play because of the COVID situation. McKinney, starters are out left and right. This is a game to get back. This is, I talk about respecting your opponents. I'll respect a certain part of them, but I'm going to keep it 100. The respect I have for them is extremely low. And that's just being real. I'm not trying to be rah-rah Cowboy. It's just the Giants are a bad football team, on both sides of the ball. So I expect this team to kind of get back in the rhythm and flow here and hopefully carry that into the playoffs. I got my guy Marcus on the line. What's up, Marcus? Yo.
What's going on, bro?
What's up, good brother? How are you? Happy Friday.
Hey, man. Happy Friday, Cowboy Nation. Man, hit the like. It's free. Don't cost you anything. Don't have to donate. Hit that like. Continue to share Sky's good word. I just got a couple things, man. It's Friday. I feel good. I feel pretty confident about this weekend. I mean, you're going up against a really bad Giants team that's missing some cornerstones on both sides of the ball. So it really shouldn't be any excuses. I think the thing that I've noticed the last few weeks, and I've been just banging that proverbial drum. My whole thing has always been when it comes to the offense, you made a really great point when you said that Kellen Moore is a collector of plays, but does not have a scheme. And then I sat back and I thought about that. I said, you know what? He's absolutely right. It's basically he just runs a certain set of plays based on whatever the scenario calls for, but he doesn't have a particular scheme that he has a foundation with. And that's why I would say that he's not really ready to be any more than what he is, which is an offensive coordinator that's still learning the job. I think people, they use the first 7 weeks, and just say, he's a prodigy, he's this, he's that. And it's like, no, you have to give him more time because he has to develop a scheme, because there's going to be times where your plays are not going to work. And then when you're talking about scheme, go ahead.
I was going to say, even at the beginning of the year, with him being so great, I never thought he was still head coaching material. I felt like he still needed a few more years on the job. But the way the NFL operates, man, if you get hot and you're an offensive guy and you're a bright offensive mind, they're going to come for you. But I don't think Kellen is ready to lead a football team. That's a completely different thing. I think he still needs to learn under a coach who has done it and continue to grow as a play caller.
I completely agree. And I think that going forward, I think Ben McAdoo, Mike McCarthy, Kellen, they need to all get together as a triumvirate and really put together a scheme going forward, because they're all great offensive minds. There's no reason why they shouldn't be working together and putting it all on Kellen. If you see that Kellen is struggling, that's the job of a head coach. You not only delegate, but you also assist when need be. And I think they're gonna bring it all together though.
Yeah, according to Kellen, because they asked Kellen, they said, hey, what is Mike McCarthy's role? And Kellen kind of, I won't say insulted, but he was like, what do you mean, man? Mike McCarthy's in the game planning meetings. He's in there with us. Mike McCarthy is very much a part of what we do. But the difference is, I think on game day, Mike McCarthy does what he does, right? He steps back and he delegates to his guys. And that's up to Kellen. I think you can clearly see the Kellen Moore influence on game day as opposed to a Mike McCarthy influence. So it's kind of that what line do you want to tote? Do you want to tote the, hey, I want my head coach to let my guys do their thing, or you want your head coach to kind of interrupt the flow of things if he feels needs be during game day, which is a bit tougher?
And I'll just say this one last thing about the offense, because the defense is pretty much spoken for themselves. They're trending in the right direction. I think we all know that. But I'll say this, man. I have been banging this drum for the last maybe 4 weeks. At snap motion. You use at snap motion, you get those linebackers off those spots. You get them off those spots and clear out those lanes. So even if you don't have a all-world healthy back like Zeke, and you can have a Tony Pollard, you can have a Corey Clement, still find those lanes, make that one cut, and get positive yardage. So I would love to see way more at snap motion going forward, going to finish the regular season, also going into the playoffs. We need at snap motion. There is no tomorrow when it comes to that. And I'll leave that at that. But I wanted to share this one thing with you, man, because I'm out here driving, and I'm in these streets. So, man, let me just drop this quote on you, man, and then I would ask for a prayer at the end. It says, "It is the set of the sails, not the direction of the wind, that determines which way we will go." Right now, defense is trending in the right direction. The offense is in flux, but they will figure it out, Cowboy Nation. So I'm going to say it again. It is the set of the sails, not the direction of the wind, that determines which way we will go. And when I talk about prayer, I got Monday coming up. I'm taking my wife to get her next batch of tests done. We're trying to make sure that she's still cancer free. And if I'm gonna call you on Tuesday, first thing Tuesday, and let you know if everything is still looking good, man. Because I'm thankful, man. I'm thankful to have somebody in my life who is really my better half. So I just want to make sure that she is still happy and healthy. And like I said, Cowboy Nation, I can use your prayers. You want to keep her up in prayer, keep her uplifted. And as usual, Scott, God got his hands all over you, man. You just keep doing what you're doing, man. I really would appreciate that.
Man, I appreciate you guys. Appreciate you, Marcus. And let's definitely keep your wife in our prayers, Cowboys Nation. Let's do that, okay?
All right, man. Peace, brother.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you as always, man. Always great to hear from Marcus. I'm going to get to B Bird here in a second. I'm just looking to the chat. And a lot of Kellen Moore talk here. Listen, my man Marcus preaches to the choir. Y'all know I've been screaming and clamoring for more motion pre-snap and at snap for 2 years, really. But specifically this season. And he did a lot of it earlier in the year. He did a lot of pre-snap and at snap motion. And he even was doing a little bit more some tight end pulls or what have you. But I don't know how many more times I got to say it. I think it's an easy way to generate some offense with a struggling line, or generate a run game with a struggling line, or lanes, windows, whatever. And then we don't do enough of it. I always liken it to dribbling without a purpose, right? Shannon Sharp in here said that, he agrees with Jeff. Our snap motion doesn't scare people because we don't hand throw it to the guy in motion. Well, and that's the dribbling without a purpose. The Cowboys don't do it. There's just I'm just going to jog 19 over here, or I'm just going to move 86 there. Go look at the effort, the energy in the pre-snap motion the first 3 to 5 weeks or so of the season. There was something different in the way they did it. Now it's just kind of like, you know what, we the Cowboys. You just come here, we're in man, okay, cool. That's all I needed to know. As opposed to being a threat with it. I always believe that is a way to generate easy offense. And you don't need to have an all-world running back to do that. Problem is, when you have a scheme offensively in regards to the run game that doesn't do a lot of those things, then yeah, you do need a running back that can make those cuts and things like that. And we'll go put on the Panthers tape in a little bit, and you'll see that Ezekiel Elliott was different. Wasn't like he had a ton of gaping holes like me and Okoye were talking about yesterday. He was making people miss. Tony Pollard can do that too, in my opinion. They just don't feature Tony Pollard like they should feature him, with Ezekiel Elliott being hampered. So, some people are okay with Kellen Moore. I don't know, man. Disappointed in the last 6 games because there has been no real adjustment, in my opinion. You saw an attempt last week with more CeeDee Lamb in the backfield. So maybe that's a positive, some positive momentum they can take moving forward. But Kellen, he's definitely lost some. He's lost some luster. I mean, I think that's fair. I don't think Kellen Moore has been great. I think he'd tell you that. He even said it a couple weeks ago. He'd like to have some play calls back. I think between the 20s, he's pretty decent. Gets in the red zone. I think we all can agree when he gets into the red zone. I don't know. I don't know. He just kind of just has a brain fart. He gets into this spread stuff. He starts doing cute stuff. He does the fullback offensive line stuff between the 20s, gets down there, and he completely eliminates it. Gets down there, there's no read option, no jet sweeps. Like, he makes things more difficult in the red zone for no reason. And it could be because he just doesn't have that. I think a lot of people always say it, get a run game coordinator. He doesn't have that mentality as a run game caller. He doesn't. It's clear as day. He does not. All right, let's get B Bird in the building. What's up, B Bird?
Hey, what's up, Scott? First, brother, I want to give you a shout out for the segment that you have with Collier. It's pretty interesting to see y'all back and forth, man. Get a lot of knowledge from that. So I just want to tell you appreciate that, brother.
Thanks, man. Collier awesome, man. I love the way he thinks. I love the way he sees things, and he gets things out of me sometimes. And I think we have a great chemistry, man.
Well, I do, and I'll get to it. But I do have a maybe something different. Y'all said something. I do have something in opposition to that, but I could be wrong. But I'll get to that. But so I'm listening to y'all yesterday. But me and my daughter had breakfast yesterday, so we were out to eat. So I didn't get to listen to the whole show. But what I did, what I was going to say is that I don't know if you saw that Dak versus the Blitz chart that's out now.
I didn't see a chart. I've just noticed statistics. He's been one of the better quarterbacks against the blitz this year.
Yeah. So what it was the fact that people are not blitzing him. The blitz has been falling off the percentage wise.
Yeah.
Throughout the year, and of course that has a lot to do with the run game not being effective, right?
Sure. Yeah.
And so what? Go ahead.
No. Go ahead. I thought you wanted me to expound, but yeah, go ahead.
So what I was going to say is, to me, that's no different than what the Chiefs and Mahomes are facing.
Oh,
so they're facing a lot of two deep zones too. And what they're saying is that basically now you got to keep things in front of us or whatever, and you got to take your time going down the field. So my opposition to what y'all said yesterday, y'all was talking about patterns, right? Like drag patterns and crossing routes and things of that sort.
Yeah.
But isn't those routes more effective, and you're supposed to run those against man versus zone? Because in zones, you're supposed to do curls, stop routes, and things that settle into the zone to give the quarterback somebody to hit. I don't think you're supposed to run, at least I've always heard that you're not really supposed to run crossing patterns against zones because you run dead into the guy.
Well, you can still run too high with man, though. So you can run a cover 2, but you have man underneath. So you can still get drag routes. Go look at the Raiders game. They did a lot of that. They played 2 high safeties, but they just played man underneath. And it wasn't like it was aggressive, man, but it was man nonetheless. So I don't think we're saying just run drags all day against zone. It's more so when you do have that opportunity, when you can't do anything deep, like the Washington game, they played a lot of quarters. They played a ton of zone. I'm not talking about in that game. There's really not much you can do in regards to drags. But throughout this 6-game skid, 3 games, there's been mostly teams playing man with 2 guys too high back. So you can get some of that going. The sitting down, the across the board, going and running stop routes, turn around, that is not a way to beat it. That is just lazy football to me. A couple of those guys maybe, but if you go watch the tape, man, they're doing that far too often, and there's miscommunication. There's guys who do there's high-low concepts for a reason, and we talked about that what was it, the Michael Gallup play, right? That was one of them. That was a high-low concept where, yes, we know it's going to be a zone, but I'm gonna stress out that safety and make him make a decision. I'm going to stress out this corner and make him making a decision. And because of the miscommunication, one guy runs one wrong route, and it looks like the play or the quarterback just completely botched it, when in reality, it's a timing precision thing, and the receiver didn't do what he was supposed to do. And again, I think maybe Gallup is still, I don't know, discovering how to read defense. I don't know, man. I don't know, but it's been too many times this has happened.
But to me, those guys have been here long enough, right? People say rust or whatever, but that's just a knowledge thing. You should know where you're supposed to go on this play. And it's been too many times pre-snap, those guys are out there waving their arms trying to figure out what's going on, and we just run the play anyway. And I think at that point in time, if you're that much in doubt, don't take the time out on that, because we don't need, if it's a third down or whatever, we need to convert that thing, and we don't need any kind of miscommunication, because it could end up in an interception.
And let me get back to what you said about the Chiefs. The reason why the Chiefs, I think, is different because they have a deadly short passing game and intermediate passing game. Dallas doesn't have that right now. They're a vertical team. For whatever reason, we haven't seen a lot of slants, and what the slant does is it allows you to hit a window. There's going to be a window in that zone, right? Either it's going to be right away, depending where the linebacker goes, or you wait for the receiver to clear the linebacker, and you got the second window. And we don't get a lot of that going. But the Chiefs have a deadly short and intermediate game, meaning their screen game is really good. They get their backs working out the backfield really good. Tyreek Hill is ridiculous. As much as we love a CeeDee Lamb, nobody on our offense can do the things that Tyreek Hill can do underneath.
That's correct.
My man,
he stresses the defense, right?
He's ridiculous. My man Jason something Cohen on Twitter. He says the reason why Tyreek Hill may be the most dangerous weapon in the league and the toughest wide receiver to defend is because the speed he has, you have to respect, number one. Number two, he can take a 5-yard hitch, right? And he'll turn it into 12 yards. It could be second and 18, and he'll get 10 yards off of a 2-yard catch. And now it's third and manageable, right? So their short passing game is just it's elite. Name me the elite part of the Cowboys' short passing game. It's not Dalton Schultz.
Yeah, we don't have it.
It's not the running back.
I'll tell you this.
It's not the receivers.
And I'll tell you this, too, man, that my wife was watching the game last night with me, and when Tyreek Hill caught the ball on something short and I think he ran to the left out of bounds, but outran everybody. My wife said, God, that guy's fast. I said, yeah, he is. You can see it. It's crazy. We don't have somebody to threaten you like that. Yeah. But Scott, I'll tell you, I want to just make this statement, man, and this is something I thought about, and this is off the record. I mean, off topic, to be honest with you. So in our kicking game, our special teams, to me, after rethinking things, has been outstanding this year. And I'm going to tell you why.
You know what? I respect you remember you earlier for saying that, okay? I respect you because I've been getting heat for defending
well, no, it is. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you something else to defend. For one thing, I'm going to say this, and it's going to be over with, about this person. Zerline, he's been catching way too much flack this year. If you got the red zone, everybody's missing kicks. Everybody's missing extra points. Zerline inside the 50 has been deadly. So I have and he's been clutch when we needed him. So that's all you need as a kicker. They're going to miss kicks now. That's just all it is to it. But I want to go to Bones. And, man, me and you talked after I don't know if it was the first game, about block punts, going after the block punt. I said I did not like it because you're taking the ball
second game,
out of the hands of your offense. Okay, So what I found is, and I think it was the last game or game before last, we had 2 running into the kicker penalties. Well, it's a glitch in the system. So what the glitch is what Bones is doing is on 4th and 14, 4th and 15, he's going after the kick. And so he's saying if we hit the kicker, 75% of the time he's going to be running into the kicker. Well, I went back and looked at the penalties this year. They have 3 roughing the kicker penalties called this year and 7 running into the kicker. It is very hard to get a roughing call. So the reason why he's going at that is because, hey, I'm only going to get 5 yards, and this team is not going to kick it again because we almost got to it. So it makes no sense not to go after it in a 4th and long situation. And I was like, wow, this guy was thinking really out of the box on that, and I think he's doing a good job at that. So I actually had to upgrade him just for, that's a glitch in the system because they're just not calling that anymore. I mean, I think one of those was ours, though, the roughing the kicker.
Yeah.
But beyond that, we've been getting a lot of running to the kicker, and the other team has been declining it.
Well,
and so,
he
to me,
down.
in that situation.
That's the only reason why I'm going to give him
situation,
credit.
In the long situation, man, I don't mind that. Like if it's because the team's not going to go for it on 4th and 11, they're going to take the ball back and go for it. They're going to say, no, we're just happy to get that kickoff and give it back to them. So I just think that our special team, I just wanted to bring that out. And Zerline is he's gotten way too much criticism because if you go look around the league, he's a steady kicker. And when we need him the most, he's been there, man. Scott, I'm going to let you go, man. And I'll be listening on YouTube more, my brother. I'll let you later, man.
Appreciate you, my good brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, ever since he got called out from from Jerry Jones, Bones been cool. Bones been chilling. He's learned the timing of going for these blocks. So I think he just needed to hear it from his guy because he was a little bit too aggressive in doing that stuff earlier in his tenure with the Cowboys. Too aggressive in the fakes, and it was just the timing of things were just what are you doing, Bones? So I think Jerry said, hey, bro, bring that in a little bit. Be a little bit more smart about it, what you do. And Bones is a smart dude in regards to knowing these penalties. I think he's just calmed down. I think he's calmed down with it, and he does it sporadically now instead of doing it multiple times a game. It is very risky to me. Sometimes the risk is not worth the reward, but you also have to know your team. You have to know the game. You have to read the room, right? That the Chargers one, that was silly because read the damn room. It cost you points, I think, unless they missed a field goal. But anyway, Bones has got his act together, as Jerry Jones would say. Zerline, I think we brought this up a few weeks ago, and it's continued. Zerline has missed only 1 field goal in the 4th quarter, and he's made a ton of clutch kicks this year for the Cowboys in the 4th quarter, and over his career, really. It was the extra points. He's missed more extra points this year, and he's missed more 50-yarders than I would like. He's got a big leg, so, it'd be nice to see him make some more 50-yarders. But for the most part, he's kind of on track with the rest of the league. I think he's at about 85%. Could be wrong. The criticism for Zerline, I get it. I'm not tripping about it. I totally understand why. I just felt sometimes I needed to speak up because when I looked at the numbers, it was a stretch where he got his act together. And I was like, well, he got better, right? We wanted him to get better. He got better. Then our resident old head called in. In the midst of him doing very well, he said, oh, I'm worried about our kicker. And then I think the next game, he missed a kick. I think it was the Patriots game. He missed a kick. And I said, man, I swear to goodness. He called in about Dak being injured. Before he got injured, Dak got injured. Called in about Zerline before Zerline start cutting up. And Zerline started cutting. So, I don't know about the negative vibes from my old head. Them things tend to happen. He must got a, what do you call them thing? A voodoo doll. He got a Zerline voodoo doll. Pinch that foot real quick. Got a Dak Prescott calf muscle. Let me pinch that calf muscle real quick. Come on, old head. Positive vibes. Now I'm just messing with you. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to continue to get these calls in, but I kind of want to transition into this line situation before we get some more callers. The Cowboys are going back to Connor Williams. Going back to Connor. Yeah, so how y'all feel about that? Is the move back to Connor Williams the right one? Pretty simple answer. Yes or no? Is the move back to Connor Williams the right one? Yes or no? Y'all know my answer. I've been saying this for about 2 weeks now. I thought that, the experiment, I get why the experiment had to happen. I'd call it an experiment, but why they needed to see what was up. Connor Williams' penalties were serious. There was too many. It was just too many. So maybe you sit him on the bench, see if that pine will change your mind, as my guy Jesse would say. And we're going to find out. This week, we're going to find out moving forward if that pine changed his mind, because the play, y'all heard me a lot of the times on this show. I really had no problem with Connor Williams' play. Will he give up a pressure every here and again? Is he perfect? No. But he was, in my opinion, a serviceable starting left guard and a better player than Connor McGovern that we've seen. So absolutely, I do think it's the right move. And it looks like a lot of you guys believe so as well. No. That single 2000 said rhyming like law. Nah, that's my guy Jesse. That's my guy Jesse Holly. Jesse on Hang with the Boys said that pine would change your mind, but Law definitely do be spitting. You would think Law's a rapper. Let's see what y'all saying. Yes. What's up, John? Hell yeah, it says Travis. This is what Travis said.
Give me a hell yeah. I said give me a hell yeah.
I hear you, Travis. Josh said, can't be worse than what we got right now. Cruz, yes. Miss Sheila says, yes, they need to make up their mind. Well, that's the other thing, man. Their mind is being changed due to injuries as well, too. Not just that left guard spot, but this is the projected offensive line, if I'm not mistaken. Let me make sure I got that up right. Wait a minute now. Here we go. This is the projected offensive line for the Giants game this week. Terrence Steele at left tackle. Connor Williams at left guard. Mind you, this is the first time these two have played together on that left side. Tyler Biadasz, Zach Martin, Lyle Collins. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the seventh different starting lineup this season. Meaning, you might have one way, then it goes the next. And 7 different times, and then 4 times the lineup has changed in game due to injury. So we're talking about 11 different times throughout this season the Cowboys' offensive line has been in flux. Usually that is a recipe for disaster. You can be, we've seen it in the Super Bowl with Pat Mahomes. You could be Pat Mahomes in the Chiefs offense. If your offensive line is in flux, it's going to be tough to consistently be good. And not just at the quarterback position, just period. Running the rock, getting plays. All of it is contingent on the offensive line being solid. So this is what we got this year on Sunday. Terrence Steele, his 4th game at left tackle. Connor Williams is back in the lineup. Biadasz is, he's getting better as a center. And then Zach and then Lyle Collins on the right side. So let's see how this goes. Maybe, if this goes well over the next few weeks, maybe you just sit Tyron Smith. Yeah. Do you sit Tyron Smith for the rest of the season until the playoffs? Because you want Tyron for that stretch, right? See how y'all feel about this starting offensive line. What? Michael Autry. Come on, man. See. My apologies, Cowboys Nation. I just saw something from a fan. Stevie Mack. Can you get on that, Stevie Mack? I mean, you can't just say stuff like that and expect me to not look. Make any sense? Stevie Mack, let me know about what's going on. That just put a whole entire stop to everything that I was just doing. So I'm not even going to speak that until somebody in the chat lets me know what's going on. So nonetheless, man, that is the projected starting lineup. And We'll come back to this question and come back to the Connors as the Cowboys figure this starting lineup situation out. But right now, I believe we have RJ Construction on the phone. Is this Mr. RJ? Good morning, good sir. How are you?
Man, it's a beautiful Friday. It's kind of warm here. We're in shorts in the middle of December, so how can we complain?
Hey, I'm from PA, so this is all new to me. It's December 17th, and I don't have a big coat on. It's really weird.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But, hey, Mr. RJ, I appreciate you calling in and getting us your take on some of these things here with the Dallas Cowboys. And then later on, I want to know more about RJ Construction, if you don't mind, sir.
Absolutely, sure.
So first
Fire
up,
away, man, whenever you're ready.
Yeah,
it's your world.
I want to know, Mr. RJ, how you feel about one Micah Parsons for not Defensive Rookie of the Year, right, but Defensive Player of the Year. What is your excitement level around Micah? Do you think he can win Defensive Player of the Year?
So, first, I played offensive line in college,
okay,
right, and so the athlete in me would love just to love the opportunity to go against a guy like that, just to see how I measure up, and from the competition standpoint. But to talk about that guy, I think he's the best player in the country, college, NFL, from the defensive side of the football. And what just absolutely, when you start talking about, people want about speed and quickness and all that, and that's fine. However, when you're talking about NFL players at that level, everybody's fast, everybody's strong. And what impresses me the most with him is his hands. He's so fast with his hands and the ability to keep the offensive lineman off of him and just make plays. It's just, he's got an it factor to him that nobody else does. He reminds me a lot of a little bit of Von Miller, a lot bit of Lawrence Taylor. He's a special specimen of a person. So,
yeah, the Lawrence Taylor comparison is the one that gets thrown out there a whole lot. I've seen Lawrence Taylor highlights, right, but I've never seen him play in real time. But when you see the highlights, you say, okay, I totally get it, because these guys have that versatile game to them, but they also have that physical, just kind of nasty mentality that I'm getting to the quarterback by hook or crook, and there's nothing you really can do about it.
That's exactly right.
For this,
contain him, you don't stop him.
Yeah. For this Giants game, what are you most looking forward to in this game, Mick? Because, it's looking crazy with the injuries and COVID situation for the Giants, but it's still a must-win for Dallas. They got to get ready to wrap up this division. So what you looking for in this game?
Yeah, this is a trap game for the Cowboys, if you ask me. I think the Giants are terrible. I think they have suffered a lot of injuries. I think they're trying to rebuild a program, and I don't have a lot of comments about them, but I think this is one of those games where, we got the Cardinals in a few weeks. That's a big one. You look past this game, unfortunately, and I'm afraid that the Cowboys are they've got some lingering injuries here that are going on. I don't think Dak is 100%, and I think that we're struggling here, trying to find.
Well, the injuries up front, I know, is a problem. You said you're an offensive lineman, so
sure.
you understand the continuity, the importance of continuity up front. I just said here the Cowboys are going to be going on their 7th different starting lineup this season. I mean, you want to expound on that continuity problem up front? No Tyron Smith once again for like the 4th or 5th time this season.
I think you just nailed it on the head. Tyron Smith is the anchor for that offensive line at that left tackle spot, and it is piss poor what happens when he's not in the game, in my opinion, because I think it rolls downhill from him as far as the effectiveness of our offensive line when he's not on the field. And I also think that their ability to run Zeke with him not on the field drastically diminishes, which starts to make us become a little bit more one-dimensional.
Yeah, I think we need to find that run game, and I'm going to talk about it more here after the phone call with this change up front. If we can see Zeke Elliott get back going, but I think getting Tony Pollard back is huge. I feel like right now with the way Zeke is, hobbled, I think Tony Pollard is our best bet at the running back position. I don't even think that's far-fetched right now.
So I've said this since the beginning of the season. I think Tony Pollard looks really fast on the field right now. I think he almost looks like the fastest guy on the field when he has the ball in his hands. His ability to find that next gear at the second level is really nice. And what I think we have to come to grips with, put all the salary and contract stuff aside, is that I think that Zeke is the complement to Tony Pollard, not the other way around.
Ooh, I like it. I mean, I agree. I think at this point, at least, maybe earlier in the season when Zeke was healthy, he looked like that bell cow guy. But right now, I'm with you. I think the roles should flip. I think TP should be featured, and Zeke should be your hammer, third down guy who can get you the tough yards and things like that. But I love that take.
Well, on the running back front, right, and it's hard for us to compartmentalize the reality of the shelf life of an NFL running back, right? The days of Emmitt Smith and Barry Sanders and Walter Payton and Thurman Thomas and everyone else is those days are gone. We have a running back on your squad for 15 seasons and they're a 1,000-yard rusher for 9-10 seasons in a row, right? Those days are gone.
Yeah.
I think the shelf life of a running back is 5-6 years tops for a really good one. I think we're seeing that right now with Zeke, and I think we're seeing him on the downhill slide of his career, unfortunately. But it is what it is.
It's one of the most damaging positions in the National Football League because the way you get hit. You got to run into 300-pound linemen all the time. You usually touch the rock at least, 15 to 25 times, depending on who you are. That's why they say the shelf life is like 3 years in the league. But for running backs, I agree. I think to be an elite back, it's usually anywhere between 3 to 5 years. After that, if you're elite between 5 to 10, you're a Hall of Famer. That's usually how that goes nowadays, at least in my opinion. But
I think you're probably right. The world is all in the receivers and the quarterbacks, and that's why you see at such a young age now 7-on-7 and the production from that standpoint.
Yeah, I would tell my kids, hey, go play receiver, go play quarterback, go play running back, man. They can't touch y'all out there. So, Mr. RJ, man, we've heard a lot of great things about the work that RJ Construction does here around the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and I believe in Kansas City, correct? Can you tell us?
Also Greenville, South Carolina.
South Carolina, yeah. Can you tell us more about your business and all the services that you offer in this area and everywhere?
Absolutely. So, this is a sports show, right? So everybody listening should be sports fans. And so, being a college athlete and living in locker rooms for most of my young, early adult life, that's an impact, right? And so we have modeled our company in a lot of ways similar to a football team. And I had a football coach that told me for years that football is the game of life, and there's nothing on this planet that you won't face adversarially, gloriously, or anywhere in between that you won't face on the football field. And I take that, through everything. And he would say things like, we don't have the off season, we don't take off, we change off season, we're going to call it championship development.
Like that.
And so the other thing that he always taught us is that, there's nobody works for me, we work together, and team is an acronym for together, everyone achieves more. So that is the mindset that this company has, and that's from me down, and that's the direction that we go. So from a business standpoint and how that correlates here, we started our business in 2007, started this business in the bottom of the recession, out of the back of my pickup truck, and have a few things that we do really, really well. We're great at roofing. We're great at siding, gutters, windows. That's really our forte for the things that we're good at. We've really brought in this solar piece to the equation as well that's very strong. And everything is, everything kind of correlates and waterfalls down from there. So that gives you the insight for what we do. We have since then become, we're a top 100 roofing company in the country. We have 3 offices. We've got Kansas City, Greenville, South Carolina, and then obviously Dallas-Fort Worth. And we service about 1,000 customers a year nationwide. We're licensed to work in 38 states, and we are one of the most decorated, award-winning contractors in the entire country.
Wow. That is a lot that you guys do, and I hope If I ever need anything, you pick up that phone, Mr. RJ, because once I get a crib, I might be reaching out to you.
Hey, let me share that with you really quickly, and that's just how we're wired here. We've always said we run to the fire.
Ooh.
We don't run away from it.
I like it.
I don't want you to call me. Really and truly, I don't want you to call me. But when you find yourself in that precarious situation, scratching your head, going, "What on earth?"
Right.
Am I going to do? I'm the guy you call. We've been through the tornadoes. We've been through the fires. We've been through the freezes. We've been through the hurricanes. We have seen the good, the bad, the ugly, and as awful as it can be, and as minimal as it can be. And you're going to be hard pressed to make a phone call further than us that can handle you from start to finish in every aspect of the word.
My man. Hey, Mr. RJ, I appreciate you coming on here, giving us some insight about the boys and about your business. Got to make this happen again. Got to make it happen again, man.
Sounds great, brother. I appreciate your time, man. Happy Friday to you. You guys have a great weekend.
Thank you. You as well. Have a great weekend. And go Cowboys, right?
Go Cowboys.
My man. That is RJ Constructions. You may be seeing a little bit more from Mr. RJ and RJ Constructions here on the Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys. I'm sorry, A to Z Sports Dallas channel. And we'll let you know. We'll let you know how that's going to go. But I wanted to kind of introduce him to the Cowboys Nation and his company because he may be a part of what we do moving forward. So back to the offensive line stuff here, which is the move back to Connor Williams the right move? Is it the right move? And I dubbed this the Connors. Because we have a Connor problem, right? If you want to call it a problem. But somebody in the chat said, Connor Williams sucks. He can't block worth a damn. Okay, I mean, if he sucks and can't block worth a damn, then what the heck is Connor McGovern doing? Because he hasn't been better. And I'm not saying he's been the worst in the world. However, here are some numbers on both the Connors. And I mentioned this yesterday, but I wanted to show it. At left guard, McGovern has the third highest percentage of negatively graded run blocks, 25%, and the fifth lowest percentage of positively graded run blocks, 7%. Some people like to use PFF in totality, but if you're going to use PFF grades, then you need to do it right. A lot of people are like, well, look at Connor McGovern's PFF grade. They're factoring in his fullback snaps and they're factoring in his right guard snaps. At left guard, he has been a drastic downgrade, according to them, which, again, caveat, in the PFF. He's been a drastic downgrade. I don't know if I'd go drastic, but he's been a downgrade. Some people say he's been an upgrade. I say, how much? I don't necessarily think he's been one, but if he's been one, it ain't been that much, in my opinion. The only upgrade I'd say is that he doesn't get penalties. That's the one. However, Connor Williams has the second highest percentage of positively graded run blocks on the Dallas Cowboys, behind Zach Martin. So I don't even think it's, from statistics, from me watching, I don't even think it's that hard of a decision. I don't think it's that hard of a decision, y'all. I think Connor Williams is the better left guard, and I think that he should be the guy that they move forward with, and I think that's what they're going to do. And if we go back to the game where they had their best, let me see if I can pull this up. Come on, where you at? There you go. They had their best day on the ground, and this is more not just for Connor Williams here, just kind of showing the game, and just look at Ezekiel Elliott and his cuts and things like that. We ran for 245 yards against the Panthers. 245 yards. Now, this is going to be a completely different lineup on Sunday, right? Terrence Steele's going to be next to Connor. You'll have Lyle Collins, who's been your best run-blocking lineman since he's entered the lineup. That's statistically proven, and then you can just put on the tape. Lyle Collins has been moving human beings since he's been put in the lineup. And you'll get Steele back out there, who was one of your better run-blocking guys as well. So I think now you should be able to get some type of ignition, per se, in the run game. Look at this. Is Ezekiel Elliott we miss here. Look at this. I mean, don't know that we're going to get that back this year. So, and there goes Connor McGovern at fullback. Look at that. Okay, I see you, Connor McGovern. Like, I just want to see Dallas get back to not. And I said I don't need him to go for 200, but if our running backs can get back to that shiftiness that they had earlier in the season, then I think our guys can block it up well enough. Connor Williams wasn't losing a ton of battles in the run game, and again, the numbers back that up. So he's not going to move dudes like a Lyle, but he does good enough in the ground game, in my opinion, that if you can get some type of continuity up front, I think you can start seeing the ground game kind of start coming back together. So hopefully this week is the week that they get some type of momentum moving forward, because we are going to need it in the playoffs. Y'all know I say that all the time. We're going to need it. Let's get Los in the building. What's up, Los?
Yo, what up, guy? Good morning. Good morning. Hope you're having a good one, man.
I'm good, bro. How are you doing?
It's good. I'm ready for Sunday, man. I'm ready to put that whooping on those Giants. But I just want two things, and mainly that's it, man. But let me say this. Any problem has solutions. It's about moves and counter moves. Yeah. Like I told you, Sky, I'm a fan of chess. Like, one thing about chess is there's so many strategies to get to the king. It's just about implying which strategy is the most efficient against your opponent, you know? And take example for the Kansas City Chiefs. They were the worst defense for the first 6 weeks, giving up almost 35 points per game.
They flipped that switch, didn't they?
Yeah, and so those last 6 weeks, man, they're now giving up 19 points per game. And the players and personnel hasn't changed. But the thing that they change is the scheme and putting the players to their strengths.
Well, I'm gonna be real with you, Los. I can't tell you what has changed, but if you studied their scheme, if you studied their tape, if you've been listening to Kansas City, then I'll take your word for it. I don't know what has changed with Kansas City, but their defense has absolutely flipped the switch.
And that's tying up with the Cowboys, and that's the problem with these Cowboys on offense right now. I feel like they're relying too much on what has worked much in the past, and not attacking these, the Holcombs of the world, like the linebackers of the world. They need to have more confidence in these pass plays and these counter, these movements in the line, and I feel they get back to moving, like just making the defense feel like, what are we going to do on offense? Then they'll probably be going back to being productive. And it's just, putting Dak back into the strength. Like, all right, Dak, we're going to get this run game going, and you're going to go 1, 2, and 3. You're going to look left, right. If you don't like what you see, don't think, just throw, man. Like, because I feel like Dak has been thinking too much and not letting that gunslinger mentality out lately.
He's not a gunslinger. He adapted the aggressive, what is it, take what the defense gives you aggressively, or something like that our guy likes to call it, Kellen Moore. Aggressively take what the defense gives you, but he's not a gunslinger, so we shouldn't expect him to be that. I think he got gun shy, though, because I don't believe he trusts himself for whatever reason, maybe because of stretch, B, his front, and C, his receivers. And as we've seen over the last few weeks, the trust in his receivers is a real problem. The communication is a real problem. We brought this up. Remember, we brought this up, I think it was a Chiefs game, about on the road, we started to notice, for whatever reason, that these guys and their communication is starting to become off. And I don't think it's coincidence. It's since Michael Gallup has come back into the lineup, and you got guys in and out, and you got guys playing positions that they don't normally play. Remember, Cedric Wilson, in and out. CeeDee Lamb, in and out. Amari Cooper, in and out. So now you're asking Noah Brown and Ced sometimes, or Michael, all those guys playing positions that they don't normally play. So I think it's contributed to a lot. And what we're seeing is Dak's holding that ball a little bit longer because he don't trust what he sees. And then sometimes he'll get in a bad rhythm, meaning he gets in a rhythm where he's holding the rock and he sees it, but he didn't trust what he's doing, and he throws it too late or something like that. So it's just a big cluster F of things. But I think that it can get cleaned up with more continuity, Los.
And it goes both ways. And I hold Kellen accountable for that. He has to put the receivers in better positions. Like, there's one play I talked about or CeeDee Lamb, and I forget who else were like 2 feet apart catching the ball. I was like, what type of route running was that?
It was Gallup. They did that 2 or 3 times in that game. 2 of them were just egregious. The one was a missed touchdown. The other was actually a ridiculous dart to Michael Gallup, but literally two yards underneath was CeeDee Lamb. So I'm like, what are we doing here? And I saw that again. I think it was against the Raiders, and I've seen it a few times since Gallup has been back. So I just don't understand why these guys are on the same. I understand it, but we need them to get back on the same page.
And yeah, it's fixable, Sky. And I feel like this is the get right game, and you're gonna see that 40 burger. I'm calling it now, man. You're gonna see 42, maybe 10. Giants don't got anything on us.
Yeah, what's your bold prediction? What's your bold prediction? Is it the score, or do you got a statistic from somebody on the Cowboys team?
On what?
Bold prediction about the game coming up, because that's what I want to get back. I want to get into now as we get to the callers in the chat. I want some bold predictions.
I just feel like Dak is hearing all of us, and I just feel like he's just back in that bag, man. Not that he doesn't listen to us. I feel like he has way much better things to do, but I just knowing the mentality that Dak has, I just feel like he's ready to put on a show again. And I've seen it close out, man. For Micah Parsons and this defense, get ready. Like if Cowboy Nation, if y'all been ready for the defense of a lifetime, this is it, man. You got the dog of Micah, and you got the pass rushers of Randy, D-Law, Osa. D-Law might be hurt. That's another story. But Osa, Gallimore, all these top players on defense, man. You can't ask for anything better, and we're ready to make that run. Let's go Cowboys, and we're probably going to – and like I said, Scott, I ain't afraid of nobody. The only people that can beat us is ourselves. That's it, man. Peace.
Appreciate you, Los. Woo! I'm going to take a peek over here. Miss Charlene, man, you always gracious and generous. I appreciate you. For the 99.
Super chat.
99 donation. Woo! She says, great show. Phone callers in chat room. You got to see that there. Great show. Phone callers in chat room. Good morning, old head. That's how you know old head is like a celebrity now on this channel. Old head. You're more popular than the host of the dang on show at this point. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Miss Charlene, for the donation, man. Always generous in that manner. So thank you, really do. Definitely says KC looked good last night. Hey, ready? Miss Charlene dropped a half zip. Some of y'all know. Yeah, I want to get to some bold predictions now. Let's get back into the game. Some bold predictions, some final thoughts for this week, for this Sunday, and then I'll give my bold prediction, and we'll tell it off here with some Feel Good Friday. All right, so bold prediction. See Jack Bynum. Oh, wait a minute. Off topic. Heineke is now in the protocol. Goodness gracious. Washington, man. This got me a little nervous because we just played Washington. And I know a lot of people say you can't contract it from the game, but I mean, it doesn't matter. They were in Washington, so. Anyway, 42-6, Cowboys, says Jack. Lance Bell, bold prediction. Clement over 102 tutties. That is bold. And I'm going to be real with you, Lance. I don't want to see that happen. Unless it's some crazy, like 2 carries at 100 yards. Because here's why. If Clement gets 100 yards and 2 touchdowns, that either means A, Zeke got hurt, Tony Pollard got hurt, and he had to come in and play. Unless he gets 2 carries for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns, and I'll take that. Cruz, D-Law getting the Roma Wednesday treatment. Foot is fine. Yeah. Sky, or not Sky. I'm gonna say Sky because you always hashtag it. Stevie Mack, what came about that rumor that my guy, I forget who it was earlier, talked about with D-Law? Can somebody kind of update me on that? I don't want to put that negativity in the air, but can somebody update me on that D-Law thing that somebody dropped in the chat? All right, more bold predictions. Charlene said, love the morning and evening shows. Thank you. I appreciate that. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I miss being on at night sometimes. Maybe next year we might switch it up. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I come on the nighttime shows a little more often. Tim Garcia, Cowboys defense with 6 sacks. Tim, you kind of on that same bold prediction I'm on. I'm on that same path a little bit. Cactus G says 3 sacks for Micah. Like Nobles, that's a bold one here. Blowout, 33-0 Cowboys. I would love to see a shutout. I'm gonna be real. We're talking about them not having 2 or 3 of their receivers. Mike Glennon. Come on, man. Let's rock these guys. 48-17 says Chuck. 35-14 Oscar. Bold prediction from Tom Downey's burner account. Dallas converts over 60% of third downs. That ain't bold enough for me, Tom. That ain't bold enough. Come on, Tom. Come a little bolder. Okay, just fake news. Thank you, Stevie Mac. Appreciate that. I got to chill with that one. Y'all be dropping these weird things every so often. Y'all don't do it a lot, but every so often y'all say something crazy. Now I gotta go look. So thank you, Stevie Mac. Fresh Fade says Boss Man gets a pick 6. I like it. I like that one. Maybe you're blowing him out. Boss Man gets in. I like it. What are we doing with Ito Smith, says Boxster? He's on the practice squad, just in case. Drummer Cam. What's up, Drummer Cam? He says Dak with over 325. Cash got 38-14. Hey, look. Jack and Don says Parsons will get his first pick. We've been saying this for how many weeks? 5-6 weeks now. Micah gonna get his first pick. It's gonna happen. It gotta happen, right? At some point. Jacob said the same thing. Micah gets his first pick. Diggs gets 10 and someone gets a pick 6. So we're talking about 3 interceptions. I like it. Chuck, I like this one here. Parsons breaks the rookie sack record. I believe he's 2.5 sacks behind Javon Curse, J-Ron's uncle, for the sack record. If I'm not mistaken, somebody help me out here. 14.5 sacks, right? 14.5 sacks from Javon Curse as a rookie. Micah Parsons breaks it. See, I saw D-Law's name pop up again now. Come on now. Red zone offense gets on point. Joe Quinn. All right, I like it. My bold prediction. Dallas Cowboys last week had 5 sacks. Taylor Heineke and Kyle Allen against the Washington football people on the road. We talk a lot about a traveling defense, right? We talk a lot about this. Well, not this one, but this one. And first game they get Neville and Tristan and D-Law and Dorrance and Micah and Randy. They get this whole group, the whole gang. The whole gang is here, right? They get 5 sacks. It's the second week now. They're going to have these boys. The confidence is there. The hunger is there. I foresee this defense, not 5, not 6, not 7, 8. 8 sacks on the New York Football Giants this week, compounded with a multiple interception game. That is my bold prediction. And you would say, well, if you're sacking them all the time, how are they going to get picks? Well, because I think some of the pressure is going to lead to some interceptions. So I got this unit taking it up a notch, because they could have had 6 or 7 or 8 sacks last week. Taking it up a notch on the road with a chance to clinch the division against a backup quarterback this ain't Taylor Heineke. He can escape pressure. This is long neck Mike Glennon. You know what I mean? He's not moving like that. So I got 8 sacks for the Dallas Cowboys and multiple interceptions. So I think we're going to see a defensive dominant game where you're going to get the ball back to the Cowboys offense with plenty of opportunities to get back on track. They're going to dominate time of possession. I'm talking something of the sorts of holding the ball for 35 to 37 minutes of this game, because the Cowboys are like, all right, let's work these kinks out, right? So that's where I'm at. 8 sacks, multiple interceptions, which could turn into a shutout, like Steven said. It could turn into a shutout. Mike Glennon, the Red, says Tom Downey burner account. Did you give me a better bold prediction, Tom? Hey, Fresh, he said long neck. Am I lying? Let me pull up a picture so y'all can see, because some people probably like, what y'all talking about, man? Mike Glennon's neck is abnormally long. Yo, I should body shape. I might try to body shape, but bam. This can't be real. Nah, this gotta be This got to be This got to be Photoshop. Hold on, y'all got to see this. Hold up. Wait a minute. Let me put some in it. Dog. What? I knew his neck was long, but what? See, this is cheating, low key. This is cheating because now there's more circumference, right? There's more room to get a penalty. That's too much room. He don't got enough body. He got too much neck. I don't like it. I don't like it, chat. I don't like it one bit. I thought his neck was long, but I didn't think it was that long. It's too much room. I might have to dial back my sacks. It might be like 6 sacks. 2 of them they're going to call back for roughing the passer. Personal foul. Long neck penalty. Number 11. First down. So we might have to run it back 6. We might have to do 6. I might have to bring that back. I didn't know it was that abnormally long. Y'all want to see some more? People dead wrong what they do to these people on this here internet. Look what they did to him right here. Hold on, look. Yo, y'all are deep. Y'all are wrong. Hold on, let me see some more long neck. This dude's neck is crazy. Look at him out. They put him next to more than that. Y'all remember Merton? He used to do the neck dance. I ain't gonna lie to you. I used to do that as a kid. That dance is so obnoxious, but I thought it was cool, right? Like, I don't know. I thought it was better than the Ken and the Shark. But anyway, I got tears in my eyes, dog. They be doing these dudes dirty. Hold up. The show done went off the rails. My apologies, y'all. I didn't realize his neck was this long. All right. Jesse said 10 sacks and 4 interceptions. Merton Hanks. Woo. Ready, Fred. Joe Quinn. Y'all killing me. Y'all killing me in this chat. Hey, it's Feel Good Friday. I'm feeling good. I promise y'all I'm not overlooking the game with how good I'm feeling about it. But can we keep it a bean? This team ain't good, right? This team should get whooped. And if they don't, I'll be on here post game on Sunday, and then I'll be on here Monday. I mean, I'll have a night to sleep it off, but I mean, come on, y'all. Let's stop with the nonsense here. The Cowboys should whoop on these boys because a lot of people are like, division game. Sure, you're right. Look what happened last week. Backup quarterback. Cowboys, made it closer than it needed to be. But let's not forget, the score was 24-0 at one point. So it's just a matter of the Cowboys finishing this thing. Stephen White said triple net rolls. Whole lot of net. Oh, goodness. I said clothesline that, man. Y'all know the clothesline from hell. I think that's Bradshaw's move. Oh, man. Giraffe status. He looks like an alien. We wrong. I'm sorry. I don't mean to do this to that man, but his neck is just it's kind of spectacular when you think about it. Maybe he could go into the world's, what is it, the Guinness World Record. I mean, that's a long neck. It is. Let me get Shavance in the building. Shavance, save me, man. Put me back on the rails before I take this thing all the way off the tracks.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I guess so. We might as well go to the zoo and check out the draft with all his neck talk.
Did you see that?
Oh, my goodness. My, yeah, that alien is kind of the word. I don't want to knock on him either, but damn. Nah, it was a weird week. I haven't called in a while. I've been listening to everyone else. I liked Old Head's call. I think it was like last week. He got fired up. I was like, oh, shit.
Fired up, didn't he?
Old Head, damn. Yeah, I was like, man, put him in the locker room and have him talk to the guys for the game. They'll come out, Yeah, it's a weird position with our defense having played so well. Like, you're so pumped about it. You're like, yes, here's that championship defense that we've needed.
Yeah.
And then Dak came out.
And did the offense, right?
like,
Yeah.
please. And then, you want to say, like, we have seen them do it. We know they can do it.
Right.
So you have that faith there. But the fact that it's kind of been like a month, and you're like, are they gonna start like?
What's more
week,
concerning,
or?
Shavance? What's more concerning? Because I know my answer. Is it Dak, the quarterback, the passing game, or is it the run game? Because we forget over the last 6 weeks, the run game is also a part of this whole thing. So what's more concerning to you?
Honestly, people think I'm stupid when I say it, but like I really would like to see them. I'd like to see them try this. Like, why don't you try running the ball 30 or 40 times a game? Just try it, just to see what would happen, like in a science experiment.
This could be the game.
Because what's our record? Like 26-2 when we run more than 20 times.
I don't like that. See. I don't like that number there. If you're going to go with a number, I would go with yards as opposed to. Oh, we run the ball 20 times, automatic win. Well, usually when you run the ball that much, it's because you're up and you're closing the game out. Like, teams don't pass the ball to close the game out unless you're Kellen Moore in the fourth quarter up 14 points.
I feel like we're not. I feel like we're not patient with it because the other week we were running and it wasn't really unsuccessful, and we kind of shied away from it. I think
on Sunday.
It might have been Pollard's last game.
Oh, because on Sunday
I think he had like 9 carries and Zeke had 10, and it was like, we could have ran more. You
talking about the Saints?
I think it might have been the Raiders game or something that we lost, and I just thought, or no.
No,
it was one that we were behind.
The Raiders game.
I'm trying to think of one that we were behind that we lost recently.
I don't know, but the Raiders game, they didn't run the ball well, which is crazy to me because the Raiders' run game was awful. Our run defense was awful, and yet I don't know if that they ran it enough there. But last week they ran the ball 32 times, so there's your number that you like, right? Maybe this is the week you.
I'm saying like get creative in the first half, get to the outsides, and when they're like throw them off now. And they're like, they keep running to the outsides because they know they can't run it on the inside, so I'm going to cheat a little, boom, Zeke up the middle, like you know what I mean, like. Mix it up, and then when they think you're going to go outside, then start smashing them in the mouth with the ball. And come the second half, I don't care. You give Zeke, let's say 15, 20 carries by the end of the third quarter. Those guys in the fourth quarter, they don't want to tackle him anymore. They just got the crap kicked out of him, and that's what I'm saying. That's why you need that many carries to kick the crap out of them for your linemen to be aggressive and block down the field.
If Zeke is actually healthy,
I don't know, but I don't know. Yeah, Zeke. That's the problem. Zeke wasn't healthy.
Here's the problem.
So we didn't lean on Pollard and what's the other guy?
Shavance. Here's the problem.
We didn't lean on them. Should have leaned on them more.
Are you one of these?
I just think
are you going to let me talk?
They tried to run more. All right.
Yeah. Are you one of these guys who don't care how the running game is performing? Just run the ball 40 times?
I'm the kind of guy that says, I think if you run 30 times by the end of the third quarter, then you'll see the results in the fourth. But they're gonna stop tackling. They're gonna start missing tackles. I'm just telling you, like, if you actually wear them down, it'll work. But the problem is they don't ever try to do it. They don't ever try to do it. I just want to see them try to do it once. And some of the games where they do actually try, I think they kind of succeed. Even when they're only getting 3 yards a pop for 3/4 of the game, it is about closing out games. It is about the fourth quarter. So if you can wear them down so that in the fourth quarter they're not tackling as well on the run, I think it helps you close out games. I just and you don't want to get away from it too early. Like I can't remember the game we were down, but they got away from it too early. We were down by 1 score and they went all pass. It's like, no, man, you can't do that.
I don't know if you misspoke. I hope you did. But did you just say 30 carries by the end of the third quarter?
Oh yeah. I mean, we're not built for that right now. That's not the game plan. I'm talking about when Pollard and Zeke are healthy.
Is this 1920?
That should be the game plan. That should be the game plan. And with them healthy. With them healthy. That's the key. You can't be doing that now. You don't have the guys now. You don't have them now. But Zeke beats those dudes up. Look, go back to the beginning of the season. Watch it. Those dudes don't want to tackle.
You just digging a hole.
After he coached the ball 15 times, they do not want to tackle him anymore. He beat them up.
Digging your own hole. I'm trying to get you to correct it. I'm just taken back because I maybe you're speaking hyperbole, maybe it's an extreme, maybe I don't know, but that is absurd. 30 carries.
I am more concerned about Dak because I know they ain't gonna change the run thing anytime soon as long as the quarterback is still the OC. That's not gonna change. So I should say my real concern is Dak because now he's had the loss of confidence. We thought he was gonna have that early on. Early on he came out and he's like, nah, confidence, nothing. I got this. And then I think there's just a lot of people in his ear, like take it easy, this and that. And the other thing is, how do quarterbacks get good? They need reps. They throw the ball like 10,000 times a day. You know what I mean? Like, and they were limiting him early on. I don't know if they still are or what, but if you're not getting in the reps, then you're not going to make the same throws because you didn't practice as much. That's how you got that good in the first place. So I'm worried about that. I don't know what kind of workload he's had or if the lack of work from them limiting him is took away valuable practice time that he's off a little bit. Like, I don't know.
He's not being limited. So it's not that. The receivers have not been in and out of the lineup. But his reps are there. This isn't the offseason anymore. He's fine in regards to his practice repetitions. But when he talks about, if you listened earlier in the show when I dropped the first word about, more practice with his guys, more continuity, it's more so as a team. He's been there the last 6 weeks. The other guys have not. So that's why the communication is off. So he's not being held back from that standpoint. But you're more worried about Dak basically getting his confidence back, right?
Yeah. Now, I think there's obviously a plethora of things that can go wrong or have gone wrong. But, I kind of like where they're headed.
So
I think they'll figure it out.
Maybe you just need to see the ball go into the hoop, right? This could be that game where another basketball analogy where sometimes when you're in a slump as a basketball player, you just need to see it go in a few times, and then all of a sudden, boom, you snap back out of it. I think this is a game where the Dallas Cowboys offense can get a couple of those shots in, see it go back in the hoop, and get things going back together. But let me get to
I hope they don't get too overconfident because you know these games where we play someone like the Giants the way they are now, and we stomp them, and we feel real good.
Week to week.
And we forget, this wasn't. It's playoff time. We got to start thinking about people like the Cardinals and the Bucks and stuff again, and playing on that level.
Well, week to week, take it one game at a time. All right.
Yep.
All right, man. Appreciate the call, brother. Let me get to the next one.
Yep. Take care.
Have a good weekend, Vance. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. What up? 3, 2, 1. What up?
Golly, that boy can talk.
I had to fight to get in there. Like, hey, dog, let me wrestle my way in here,
Come
man.
on. I love my Cowboys fans. Like, golly, homie, you got your breath to breathe, man. Breathe, bro, before you run out of oxygen. But anyway, man, I just wanted to call and say, I can't wait till this week, till Sunday. I got the whole weekend. It's going to be grilling. But, man, look, I got to tell you, I kind of want to just see the defense this game. I'm not really worried about what's not. I got to the point where I want to see the defense play most of the game.
You were just excited to see them get on the field, huh?
What? Man, what's the last time we had a defense like this, man?
That's how I am, too. Yeah, shoot, I was during the Washington game, I get upset that they punt it, right? I'd be like, but then I'm like, well, the defense is coming on. This should be fun. And I don't want that feeling. I ain't going to lie to you. I want to have that same excitement both sides, but right now I'm definitely more excited to see the defense get on that field.
Yeah, man, me too, man. It's like when I watch the defense plays, it's like, dang, man, like, how did we flip the defense that fast to 1 year? That's crazy.
Dan Quinn, I gotta give 80% of the credit to Dan Quinn. And then the rest to Will McClay. I mean, I won't say the rest, but in regards to bringing in these people, Dan Quinn and Will McClay, I thought they went out, executed their plan perfectly, and then Quinn coaching these boys up, man. I can't express enough how important he is to this team, and everybody wants to talk about Kellen Moore. Moving on. I hope like hell Dan Quinn says, nah, I'm not ready to be a head coach again and sticks around.
Yeah, and that's what I've been telling my best friend. I was like, dude, if Dan Quinn moves on, at least let us keep Joe Witt Jr., because, boy, look here. I don't know where we would have been if we didn't have Dan Quinn as our DC this year. We would not be as good as we are this year.
Imagine if Mike Nolan. Oh goodness, if, I don't even want to bring his name up. But if you imagine if he came back, jeez, he wouldn't know what to do with Micah.
No, he wouldn't have. But another thing I wanted to bring up is I want to see us take advantage of their linebacker core this game. I want to see us get some of our receivers out on them, so that way we can go and get some easy passes and stuff like that, build Dak's confidence up. And I just want to see him make some more, consistent decisions. Offensive line, I think they need to play a little bit better since we don't have Tyron this week. I'd like to see them play better. And that's what I was going to tell you. The other day I meant to go to ask you, how come the New England Patriots offensive line I don't think they're as talented as ours, but they can run the ball just as good as ours.
Well, and that's why I kind of talked about earlier in this stream that a lot of these teams can run productively, right, and efficiently and don't have a all-pro back because you don't need one. It's really about A, schematics, B, how good is your passing game, and C, can you get guys to move pre-snap, at snap, and just block it up well enough? Like, you don't need to be Derrick Henry to have a productive run game. It's so funny. A couple years ago, the top 5, I guess, teams in the playoffs were all top 5 in rushing. I said, that's a damn anomaly. Okay, that's not something that happens all the time. Now you go look at the top 5 rushers. I mean, the top 5 rushers now, only one of those teams are in the playoffs, and it's the Tennessee Titans. And that's because Derrick Henry is still in the top 5 in the league because he is their entire dang on offense. So running the ball you need to be able to run the ball productively. I can give a damn if you run the ball for 150 yards per game with one person. So I don't really care about having a dominant running back. I care about having an efficient running game and an offense that relies on your receivers, your tight end, and your quarterback.
Yep. And I want to see just a little bit more of play action. I want to see more bootlegs put back into the playbook. You remember when Dak first started his first couple years, he was using his athleticism to going to get to start the game. They would always use that bootleg. I wonder why they stopped.
Well, they did it. Here's the thing: they did it against Washington, right? It was successful in the beginning. Then in the fourth quarter, they went back to it, and he threw that pick. So, but I would like to see more under center play action. A lot of the play action we do is from shotgun. I'd like to see more under center things. Try to establish play action. You don't even need to have a dominant run game for your play action to work, because we talked about this before. Your linebackers' first responsibility is to run, so they're moving forward. So you can get a guy off his spot. Obviously, if you're dominating the team on the ground all day, then the play action is going to be even more deadly later on in the game. But yeah, I would like to see them use Dak's legs more on the move, literally use him in the red zone as a threat. There's ways, man. There's ways to make this thing easier than I feel like Kellen is doing it. But hey, I'm just a fan. I ain't no offense coordinator. I don't know it all. I'm just giving my opinion.
That's how we all are. Just we're all fans and we're trying to watch our team want to play better. But I just want to see them get the offense together so that way, we're good going into the playoffs, because once the offense gets back to clicking, dude, I don't think there's a team. Well. Outside of Green Bay.
We definitely top 3, bro. I think we're top 3 in the NFC once this offense gets back right.
I just don't want to go to Green Bay, dude.
I don't want to play Lambeau.
It looks like we are. People don't understand, dude. The history of Dallas going to Lambeau, dude, is not great in the playoffs, man.
I don't want to go there.
It's a dude. Nah, bro. I hide underneath my sheet when we go to Lambeau, bro.
I ain't gonna hide. Yeah, I ain't gonna hide. But I'm gonna be there and I'm gonna be like, man, it's uncomfortable. But sometimes you got to put yourself in uncomfortable situations to get to the next level. So maybe Dallas needs to go be uncomfortable up there and get that monkey off their back. But yeah, I don't want to go up there. I mean, that just is what it is. I don't think anybody really wants to go to Green Bay. I'd rather them come here. But hey, bro, let me get to the last call, man. I appreciate you calling in, really do.
Yes, sir. Blessings.
Thank you, man. We're going to end this thing with Old Head. And now, Old Head, I never dropped my my email. The email is skywalkersteel@gmail. I should have been told you that.
Hey, I got it.
Okay.
Stevie got it to me earlier. Stevie Mac got it to me. I was going to throw. So you started with that, and I was all ready to go. Good morning, brother. How you doing? I'm just so glad to talk to you.
Oh, you sound like Hogan. Are you Hogan?
I totally blew it. I had that Hulk Hogan ready for you. Hey, listen.
The cream rises to the
Connor
top.
Williams is Connor Williams
Macho
was.
Man. Uh-oh.
Connor Williams was the number couple weeks ago when they were talking about. I don't mean for the team. I'm talking about in the league. Connor Williams was number 3. He just couldn't keep his hands to himself about the holding penalties, and I think that's why they benched him for a while. Did you see my tribute to Whitney earlier?
To who?
You sit the pine, the rest will follow.
My God.
Did you see that?
I didn't see that one.
Inspired me.
But my guy Jesse said the pine would change your mind.
Well, yeah, but then you said you sit the pine, the rest will follow, and I immediately, I channeled Whitney on that, which, believe me, I am not anywhere near a Whitney, although I love singing. But that's one thing that you inspired me to throw that. You sit the pine, and the rest will follow. I really hope that's the theme for us with this weekend, Connor Williams. And it's 7 different combinations when you're dealing with the same basic guys. That's nothing, brother. I mean, we're talking some teams have had 30 and 40 different combinations, and they've had to go out and grab guys off the garbage truck to just put a uniform on them. We've got talented players. I mean, this just goes back to what we talked about earlier about the way we drafted and the way we have kept people on the team, because we've got the depth, and I think we are in much better shape offensive line with the concerns there than a lot of teams. I mean, there are teams right now that half their team is off on COVID. I heard that this morning. But 23 Rams or something. Let
me add this to your mind here. We do have depth.
Jump in there, because they were kidding me about somebody talking over you today, and I said no.
Well, my man
don't let them
Shavance,
do that.
who I just found out was Sean Moyer. So putting the two together, I like to see not necessarily a face to the name or a name to the face, but a name to the name. So salute to you, Sean, that you're Shavance. I didn't know that, so now I know as we kind of move forward here. What was I saying? Oh, so I agree with you. I agree with Steven, who said, hey, we got about 8 or 9 guys we feel comfortable with putting in there. That's all fine and dandy, right? When maybe you need it every so often. But when you need to use those 8 or 9 guys every other week, that becomes a problem. And I think
that's true.
The continuity part is a real issue, not only in the run game, but I think we also are seeing it in the passing game too, because you're getting Tyron in and out. You got McGovern and Williams. They're up and down. It's just all over the place. So I think, yes, great that we got that depth. I don't like that we have to use it every week.
Well, and I don't either. But unfortunately, that's the way things go in the NFL. And if we are only that far down as far as the number of times we've had to switch things around, I think we are, at this point, at this late date in the season, we're blessed, and we just have to.
That's a lot of times.
Keep on plugging. Well, but 4 games is better than 14.
No. There's been 11 times the team has had to change their lineup this year, total. 7 times.
True.
7 times they've had a different starting lineup than the previous week in this season. That's not good. That's you don't want that.
Fully understand what you're saying, but I switch that around and say we're blessed that it's only been 7 times.
I see what you're saying. Instead of
that's what I'm
17
saying.
times.
Some teams it's 5 times that, 6 times that. They've had to, like I said, they've had to go out and grab guys that were working at Walmart or whatever because of not having the availability on their own bench. So that, the 2 C's, consistency was one of them. And I had the other one in my head, and
is it continuity? Consistency and continuity?
Continuity. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Consistency and continuity. That's what, I look at it as if we've had to switch them out 11 times or 7 times or whatever, that is 7 or 11 times that we have had the opportunity to give those youngsters experience that will wind up paying off for us, in the next few weeks. And I think if we do have a chance to sit a couple of guys against the Giants and they come back healthy against the Cardinals, Washington, I think better than that at home, but then the Cardinals, then I think, we look at it as a blessing. And one of the things you guys were talking about special teams earlier, and this is actually what I was going to talk about today, and I know it's your last call, but the thing that I was mad about with Bones, and I talked to you about it earlier, was dumping our longtime deep snapper to bring his own guy in. To me, that just wasn't fair. Yeah, the guy's an all-pro. Yeah, he played for him for the Rams. He knew the guy. But J.P. Lattisaur is as good as any deep snapper we've ever had. They cut him to keep him from breaking Jason Witten's consecutive games record of 14, 15 years straight.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason they had to cut him, because he was playing well. And, your loyalty and your longevity are two more consonants that should mean something in the NFL. If you're playing well and you're loyal, then you should be able to keep on playing. And anyway, just like Dale Hellstray played forever, and never expected anything for it except to, get a Super Bowl ring. So, listen, you guys, I'm going to try to I'm going to send you something today just to ask a couple of questions, and maybe we can work something out on the voices. I'm having fun doing them.
Yeah, send me an email. Send me an email. I don't know if you know how to record, but
yeah, if it I've got an app that that'll create a link that I can send to you that it'll transmit. And if it works, it works. If it's not, if it doesn't, it's fun. I'm not looking for a job. I'm retired and I'm not looking to go to work for you, but it would be fun to, if I can contribute to your show, that's even better. So listen, a Merry Christmas, Charlene, and to TC 915 and Stephen White, who kind of had an early day today playing with Mike Fisher, and that's a different story. But anyway, listen, you have a great day and have a great weekend, and hopefully we'll have some fun stuff to talk about on Monday, getting ready for those nasty old Washington, whatever they are.
I don't know what they is. But, let's see if we can get a cookout going on Monday, man.
What they is, WTFs or whatever. But anyway, listen, you have a great weekend, and we appreciate you taking my call.
I always appreciate you calling in over here. Thank you, man. Have a good weekend. My man said, ain't no loyalty in this dang on league. They cut LP Lattisaur. I got a problem with your Bones. You cut LP Lattisaur. I love how old head fight for LP. I'm gonna be honest, I don't give a goddamn that they cut LP Lattisaur, but old head fighting for LP. I think he's a Frenchman. Where Felipe at? Felipe should be in here defending his man. Y'all should have been here. See, he brought that up before. Y'all should have been here that day. He was adamant. He was pissed. I think this was the time when Greg Zuerlein had a little bit of struggles, and he was just not happy with Jake McQuaid. My man. It's a good way to end it, though. I ain't gonna hold you. Let me get back to the chat, man. See what y'all saying. Yeah, I don't know if he was running or not. I hope old head was on a walk. I heard the wind in the background, things like that. He could have been on his walk, on his daily walk. I go for mine, So maybe he was out there on his walk or what have you. But I do need to get me that. I need that old head Jerry Jones impersonation, because boy, when he put that on the other day, I had to say, "Oh, you ain't talking to Jerry right now," because it sounded like Jerry, man. It really did. Sound like Jerry. Here's my other OG right here, Antoine Brown, 717 in the building. What's up, AB? Oh, you coming down for the Cardinals game? Get with me. Yeah, Stephen White, you do get the shout outs from old head. You do get the shout outs. Hey, look, I appreciate everybody calling in. Y'all were great calls. Old head, B Bird, Marcus, Los. Trying to remember off the top of my head. Sean Moyer, a.k.a. Shavance. I didn't get the one caller's 321's number. I didn't get your name. My fault, brother. Appreciate you calling in. And Mr. RJ from RJ Constructions. I appreciate you as well. And Miss Charlene, hey, technically this show is sponsored by you. But nah, seriously, thank you for the donation. But it is sponsored by Texas Family Fitness. Make sure I give my Texas Family Fitness a shout out here, man. What's up, Mark? But I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here. It's Friday. So today, I'm not going to see the Spider-Man movie. For those that know, I'm a huge Marvel nut. I bet not ruin it for me. Tomorrow, I'm going to go see it. And I feel awful because I usually go see movies like this. You know, the pillar of the Avengers, right? Like Iron Man, the Avenger movies, Endgames, Infinity Wars, the Captain America dips. All those I usually go see on Thursday, so which would have been yesterday. I didn't. So I'm on Twitter and everybody's like, oh, this is a classic. It's the greatest. It's da-da-da. Couldn't find no seats, 2 seats for the day, so I had to wait for Saturday, and I dropped the ball on that one. That's my B. It's my B. But I'm excited to see it because everyone is talking about how dope this movie is. And for my Marvel nuts, I'll be reporting back to y'all on Twitter. So make sure y'all follow me on Twitter. @Skywalker Still. I ain't gonna spoil it. You can hit the DMs and we'll talk about it. But I'll let you know. I'll give it my reviews. But apparently it's 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, which, I mean, it's Marvel. They don't miss. They never miss. Ever. With that said, y'all, press this button. I almost thought I was going to have to press a different button. When, you know, sometimes when old head bring up certain players, I thought I'd be thinking he's bringing out the voodoo doll. About to have to hit him with something else. But I didn't. Happy Friday, y'all. Enjoy y'all weekend. Enjoy. If you're going to see Spider-Man, enjoy it. Just don't ruin it for everybody, eh? Don't ruin it for everybody. Be nice. Have fun. Be safe. I appreciate you guys coming through on this Feel Good Friday. Hopefully these boys take care of business. Because y'all ain't going to want to see me on Monday if they don't. Love y'all. Peace. Joshua said Thor 2 missed. You're right. A couple of them, they do be missing a little bit. Shout out to my guy, Stevie Mac, the Mod God.
I want me some glory hole.